Football, athletics, is an art form in itself, and the players have to be respected in that way. One for me. Oops, breakfast for champions there. I played football, that's all I didn't go to school, really. I mean, I went to the classes to be eligible, but I really wanted to play football, that's all. I had my eye on Pete Jen's book, North Dallas 40, and I knew the NFL had banned the book. I told my agent manager I was doing North Dallas 40, and they said, you can't just do whatever you want. What are you, crazy? And I said, well, that's what I'm doing. You might as well not send me anything. I wanted Sam Elliott for the quarterback, and Sam tested 3 times for it. They wanted Mac Davis. Mac was a very successful singer in the Las Vegas act, and he just had that cockiness down, and Sam didn't have that. But Mac couldn't throw a ball, so we had to double Mac.
Look, Hammond, I know all about you. You're single, you got no fixed address, no relatives, 1 previous conviction, armed robbery, 6 months to go on a 3-year sentence, is that right?
So what, man? You gonna write my life story?
It was about 2 white cops in San Francisco, and it absolutely did nothing. It was a terrible script. So I called Walter Monday. I said, Walter, are you really serious about doing this? He said, yeah, I'm real serious about it. I'm gonna start rewriting now. And I want you to go meet Eddie Murphy. So I flew to New York, and I got 48th Street, and I knew a black saxophone player there. And I got up to his apartment. And in those days, there was a white powdery substance running around that was abused badly. And I sat in that apartment for 3 days. And I said to him finally, hey man, I gotta get over and meet this guy at Saturday Night Live. He said, the black hat? I said, yeah. He said, oh, you can't use him. He's a bass freak. You can't go near him. And I said, well, in that case, I'll go home, you know. But I went back and I told Walter that Eddie Murphy was a bass freak. And he said, Eddie Murphy? I said, yeah. He said, you didn't meet him, did you? That's the last time I'm sending you out. And then I had met Eddie when he came to California. And I saw why, you know. He was 18, you know, he was a very young guy. He didn't go near any substances or anything. He was talking about Garrett, the other guy from the old show. That was Paul Mazursky. Paul Mazursky was not only a great director, he was also a very funny man. I had read the script, it was really good.
Hey! Call 911!
I was out there maybe a good 6 days. It only takes 24 hours and you're a space cadet. You're gone. I went down there with an actor that Paul told me to take, and he wants to go down this one street right away. And you know not to go down that street. And he said, no, we gotta go down this street, this street. Well, we got down there, and the guy thought I was a cop right away. So he shuffled across the street right up to me, and he's smoking a joint. He sticks it right in my face. And, you know, I had to prove that I was... You know, they let us go on down the street. I got poison oak all over my body, and I had welts, big pustule welts like this. And Bette Midler came to work about 5:30, 5:45, and she saw those welts, and she freaked out. She called up to Jeffrey Katzenberg and said, is it contagious? I'm not working with this guy. This guy, have you seen what's on his body? Nah, she didn't want to touch me. She didn't want anything to do with me.
Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Katie, somebody's got to man the boat. We're heading into unprotected
Did you
water.
swear?
And I had worked with Marty on life lessons, And Marty knew me as a 240-pound fat painter. So they weren't interested in me. So they were interested in, I think, Dennis Quaid was the top guy up for it. I knew they were holding a film party for Goodfellas. So I said to Billy Cross, my assistant, let's put on our lawyer suits, ties and everything, and we'll just stand around the wall, you know, like we're two lawyers. A little while later, Marty walks by, you know, and he looks, and then he keeps on going, and then he looks back, and he goes, Nick, is that you? So he goes and gets Bob De Niro, who is one of the shyest, humblest men in the world. And so Bob came over and said, hello, Nick, it's good to meet you. And he kind of chuckled, and they walked off. And then Marty said, you know, we're gonna do Cape Fear. And I said, yes, I've heard of that. Are you interested in doing that? He said, yes, very much. But he wouldn't have thought of me unless he had seen it.
What the hell is going on here? Why is she strapped down like that?
I know you're upset, but her team felt she had to be restrained.
Why? She has enough drugs in her to anesthetize a whale.
Well, Barbara's really something. When she came to me, I was doing Sidney Lumet's Q&A. You know, in Q&A, I was 6'4" or 5". I had lifts like that, big in the shoe, and I had them tilted so that I'd be in people's face. Because I got up there, she offered me a glass of wine, and I took the red glass of wine, and I stayed standing up, and she was worried that I was gonna spill the wine on a white carpet, you know. But it was a great meeting, and I got along with her real well. The difficulty was when it came to nominations, she wasn't nominated as a director. And that was a bitter experience for her. And there wasn't anything I could do about it. There's some politics involved in these awards.
Would you be willing to take the test again?
I don't know, man. Them tests are culturally biased.
Well, everything is culturally biased, Leon. I'm just trying to get you in college.
We go to Indiana, and I hang out with Bob Knight, Coach Bob Knight. I had Billy Cross with me shooting videotape of all of Coach Knight's gestures, from throwing chairs to the notorious stuff, to one day he came out with a fly rod, and he's going, whoosh, and he looks over and he goes, whoosh. He goes down the whole basketball court that way. And then he turns around and he says, does any of you know what I was doing? You were fishing? No! I was seeing the whole court. You've got to be able to see the whole court, where everybody is, where the ball is, where everything is. And that was his lesson on seeing the whole court. And Shaq was in Orlando. We had gone down there, Billy and I had, to see if Shaq wanted to do it. So Shaq came up to our room, and he came in with his agent, and he said, I want to do this picture. And his agent said, but we have some reservations. He can't say bitch, and he can't take money. And Shaq said, no, that's why I want to do this picture. I do say bitch, and I did take money.
Love. What do you know about love?
Love? Hell, I made a love.
Call it what you want. Coburn was brilliant in it. I had asked Paul Newman to do it, and Paul had an interesting answer. Paul said, I don't think my audience would accept me in this role. He said, I'd love to do it, but he said, they won't accept me, and therefore the story will be weakened by that. And it took me quite a few years to understand what Paul was really saying, because Paul had a certain charm to him that was just natural to him, and that went into all the roles. He didn't rely on it or anything, but that would be in there, and that could be in the Father.
Did you ever read Homer? We read Homer at the Point, in Greek.
The second day I was there, I was out on the set. I was standing next to Jack Fisk, who was the art director, and there was this grass that was 7 feet tall, and when they'd blow the wind blowers, or the wind would blow, it'd blow one direction, and uncover 10 soldiers, it'd blow back this way, couldn't see him. And I said to Jack, I said, Jesus, what luck. that this grass grows down here. And he said, that's where the art department budget went. I said, you grew this grass 6 months in advance? Yeah.
I'm just asking you if you can find a little better space in your heart to forgive me.
I said to Gavin, as we were talking about how to deal with Tom and Joel as an outcast father, you know, we're going to have time on our hands, so should I associate with them or should I not? And I said, you know, Gavin, I don't think it's going to do us good for me to hang out with them because it breaks that little illusion that their father, they've got distance between them. So you said that's probably a good idea.
You godless son of a bitch! You stop the ship! You godless son of a bitch!